Hey everybody, it's Mike Kleanowitz, and today I just have another message that I wanted to get to you all through the podcast. And it's been a couple days since I've been on. I've just been so absolutely so busy with real estate. Like I've never been this busy before in the past, like probably 4 or 5 years or so. And, it's just been crazy. And then on top of that, we got this like snowstorm that came in that, of course, where I'm at in Baltimore, we get 3 inches of snow and everybody's like, oh my God, we need all the bread and the milk and the cookies and the ice cream and everything from the grocery store. So let's just go buy everything because the whole world's going to shut down because we have 3 inches of snow outside. And then they close schools, and then they close schools tomorrow. And, kids have already been out for Christmas break and New Year's break, and it's crazy. So, of course, they're home again. They're all excited. But, my kids have to actually do school online because since COVID happened, now they got school online and they know how to do it. So, the schools are smart and they're like, we're going to do it online now that you're home. So, that's kind of what's been going on with me. And it's a blessing. Everything I've been getting is a blessing. I wrote a contract on a huge house in Middle River earlier this weekend. I think on Friday, wrote a contract. And then I had buyers on Sunday buy new construction, brand new townhouse in Middle River again for probably like 530 some $1,000, which is going to be a great, nice size commission check. My other buyers didn't really have their contract work out, but we're still kind of in negotiations a little bit. So could have been $1 million weekend in sales, which is crazy for the first week in January, considering what I've sold the last few years, which has been not that much. And, I have no doubt in my mind that every single thing I'm getting right now is just a blessing from God. I'm just getting, paid back in business and in blessings and clients and phone calls and text messages. And just today, I got another text message from a guy, had a lot to sell in Harford County. And, we discussed that today, got everything done, got the paperwork done, and that's going on the market hopefully tomorrow. I'm just waiting on one last thing from him and his wife, and then we'll be good to go on that. And it's just been one blessing after another blessing. And like I said, I have no doubt that it's because I've been practicing what the message was this week at church, which was silence and solitude. That's something that we need to do and something that we need to experience. And it's something that we need to experience daily, if not more than once a day, where we have time like I am right now, where I'm in my home office by myself with the door closed, talking to you guys here on the podcast and just reflecting my life and what's going on with Jesus and with God and with the Holy Spirit. I have him here with me. I have the Spirit with me. And, that is what is going on right now for me. I'm in my silence and solitude, not so much the silence part because I'm doing a lot of talking, but he is connecting with me through the Spirit right now to help me talk to you all and present the message as accurately as he wants me to present it. I can like hear my ear ringing right now with what I'm supposed to be, paying attention to and saying and paying attention to all my words and exactly the right meanings and what needs to be conveyed um, to you all, So this whole thing with silence and solitude, in the Bible, it says that you're supposed to pray in your own private room area, inside your house, inside your room. You're supposed to go in and close the door and be by yourself and be with Jesus and be with God and meditate on that and meditate with them and just manifest what you want to manifest, and talk to them about your dreams, talk to them about your hopes, talk to them about your goals, what you want to accomplish in life, what you want to accomplish today, what you want to accomplish tomorrow, what you want to accomplish this week, this month, this quarter, this year. you know Talk to them about the next 10 years, whatever. But like, it's your time. And then at part of that time, you need to be silent and need to be quiet, and you need to listen. You need to just close your eyes after you talk to him. And you need to just see if you hear him saying anything to you. See what kind of, pay attention to the thoughts that come across your mind while you're doing that. What are you thinking about? What is going on? What are the processes that are going over in your mind? This is all how God communicates to you. And it's when you're in practicing your silence and your solitude. And then I couple that message with another message, which was in my devotional guide that my buddy Ron got me for Christmas. And today was January 6th, and the devotional was said planned. And it says sorry, it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. And that was Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. And it says, God desires his children to be prudent and wise, but he also wants them to remember he is the one planning. His plans have existed longer than us and will continue after our time on earth is done. In this passage, God says through the prophet Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He sees us without the blinding effects of human emotion, bias, and idealization. God also says he set you apart. He decided our purpose far before we could think. Rather than including God in our plans, we had the honor of being included in God's plans. In the light of God's surpassing knowledge and foresight, what is our anxiety? How can we worry in light of his steadfast purpose for us? Even if we question it, God still has a plan for our lives that transcends our ability to understand it. And then it says, Lord, may my every care and worry be banished by the thought of your knowledge and purpose for me. Help me trust in the plan you have founded. Wow. So see, God already has your life planned out for you. He's already decided everything that's going to happen for you. He decided your start date. He's deciding your end date. And he just has everything in between planned for everything exactly how it's supposed to be. And what we need to do is just stop getting in the way of him. And we need to stop trying to figure it all out. And we need to stop trying to, you know, figure out what the grand plan is and the grand design is, and just let it happen to us and for us and through us for God. That's really the key, is to let life happen the way God wants it to happen, exactly how God wants it to happen. And it's so hard because, us as humans, we want to have control over everything. We think it's us making the decisions. We think it's us deciding, every single thing that we do and what happens to us, and the consequences for our actions and everything. We think that it's all us, and it's not us. It's not us. I look back at my own life. The last like 4, 5, 6 years, I went from being the number one agent at my company to one of the last ranked agents at my company for the last few years. And, I didn't know why. Why did God do that to me? Why did he give me the heartache and the depression that I got and all the suffering that happened to me and everything I had to go through? Well, there was a couple reasons for that. Number one, he wanted me to slow down because I was out of control. I was working 7 days a week, living in the fast lane, running 250 miles an hour, and I never slowed down. It was from sun up to sundown, and I was just a running crazy machine, all about making money, and that's what fueled me, and that's what drove me, and that's all I cared about was money, 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 and more money. And God said, that's not what life's about, son, you know? And if you keep going at this pace, you're going to wind up having a heart attack or kill yourself or something. So he deliberately planted some seeds and had me slow down. And, he continued to make things difficult on me because at that time, I didn't have God in my life. And I wasn't looking for God, and I wasn't searching for God. And God was the farthest thing from my life because when I was running and gunning with all the big dogs making all the money, I felt like I was God myself. And I let it get to my head. And so I never thought I needed God. Not until I needed God, if you know what I mean. This depression got worse and worse and worse, and it got harder and harder and harder, and my income went further and further down. And all this was designed, all this was planned carefully by God so that I would come running to him and call for him to come and step in and save me and save my life and save me from the path of destruction that I was on due to my own actions. But he also slowed me down, I believe, because that was a time in my life where my kids were in their formative years of early middle school, which is, end of elementary school, early middle school, and it's probably the most important years of a kid's life is those grades from like grades 5 through 8. That's really where everything gets developed, and that's what's preparing them for high school and then college and then the real world. You know, and I needed to be there for my kids. So what God was trying to do is He was trying to slow me down. So and tell me, look, man, I let you make all that money. I blessed you with all that business, and you didn't overextend yourself. You saved what you needed to save. You have enough stored up from the plentiful years that um, when the God, what's the word I'm looking for? When the drought comes, when the famine comes, when years of struggle come, you have enough stored up in your warehouses of cash that you can cover yourself. But see, I was still so worried about money. And that's what drove me crazy. And that's what drove me to depression because I wanted to make more and more and more. And he kept taking away from me because he knew I had enough. He knew I had enough to be able to live and survive on what I needed to survive on. He wanted me to be able to spend time with my kids when they needed me. You know, he needed me here for them when it was important to them. And, now my kids are a little older. You know, my daughter's now driving. She's got her own car. She's got her boyfriend. She's got a job. She plays sports. So she's out all the time. And I see her every day, when she gets up and we eat dinner together, usually every night. And, we spend time together and do things together. But she's busy, and my son he's a freshman in high school. He's starting to meet the girls, and he's starting to make more friends, and he's starting to spend more time out of the house, and he's starting to spend time with his buddies, and he's not home as much either. So now, God is saying to me, Mike, it's time to open the floodgates back up, and it's time to go out and make some serious cash for a little while because the famine is over, and your season of being, in the droughtful months is over. Your surplus is here. Your abundance is here. Your harvest time is here. From all those seeds that you sowed for me and for the kingdom and everything that I've seen you done, you're going to be blessed for all that. And that's what's starting to happen, and it's starting to come to fruition. And I'm starting to see it, and I'm starting to believe it. And it's just unstoppable. It's amazing. I've never been this busy, but at the same time, I've never been this busy, but still not been completely exhausted too. Because I'm not exhausted. I feel like I have a good, productive day of work. I feel like I have a lot of stuff going on, but it's not overwhelming. It's not to the point that I need to have a full time assistant again and pay her 40 grand a year and health benefits and everything else. I don't need to do that because what God's giving me is He's giving me bigger deals. I'm not selling like I was selling before, having to fight for every little $100,000 listing and sale. No, man. The deals he's throwing me are 500, 550, 600, $300,000 lots getting sold. I mean, he's throwing me good stuff here that's going to fill my bank, which is going to help me pay, what I need to pay and be able to put away and be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor finally. Finally, just like all the prophetic messages that I've been watching and hearing and listening to them talk and say, your day's coming, it'll be here before you know it, just keep on moving forward, and all the positive and encouraging, words that they spread and that they said, and it's all coming true. It's all coming true, you know, and I'm blessed with that too. I'm blessed with the prophetic messages. I just kind of happened to come across it, when I was on Facebook, and the reels started popping up, and I just started watching them and listening to them. And it's funny because, it used to be like reels of, sexy looking women and tight clothes and high heels and big boobs and everything. That's what the reels used to be. But see, then when I switched over to like, being with God and being with Jesus, the reels changed. All those women and all those, soft pornography type video posts, they all like disappeared. And all what reappeared was God messages and Jesus messages and prophetic people speaking to me through the phone, that were delivering a message from God for me to hear, for me to listen to and for me to take advice from. And, through going through what I went through with God, by going on my walk with Jesus, I learned discernment, and I learned how to pick up on people and read people and be able to determine if something felt good or didn't feel good. And not everybody has that gift. There's a lot of people out there that are skeptical of everything, but it's crazy. You learn these things by walking with Jesus and by him changing you and molding you and reshaping you and changing your future and changing your views and changing your mind and changing your habits and changing your outlooks and changing your character and changing everything about you, your personality, who you associate with, who you don't associate with, changing your complete um, cast of characters in your life. I got rid of everybody, man, because they were all not healthy for me. And it was slowly shown to me, one by one by one, who should not be in my life. And, God was like, get rid of this one, get rid of that one. And here's why. This one was talking stuff behind your back. And I just wanted you to know that. And how did I know it? I heard from other people who came and told me because they felt like God wanted them to tell me. And then some of them even said that to me. So it's like, of course, that's a message from God that I'm going to listen to. I don't need bad seeds in my life. I don't need negative energy in my life. I just need God. I need his protection. I need his wisdom. I need his holiness. I just need his peace. I need his joy. I need his happiness. And that's it, man. It's the peace. It's that God peace. It's not peace that, you just get like peace out, whatever, or peace be with you, whatever. No, like this is like true peace and tranquility and just feeling like you're floating on a cloud, and going through your life like that and not having stress, man, not worrying about small stuff and knowing that, when you make a turn over to the right side, there's going to be the phone's going to ring and it's going to be somebody else. You turn to your left side and you get an email and it's somebody else. And, everything is designed perfectly for you and your day to go through your day. And you just need to let God guide you and take you through the day with his wisdom, you know? And it's just, I start every day by saying the same thing. And I finally figured out who the song was, by the way. Um, I started off the day saying, God, show me how to live. And that's a song by Audio Slave. Show me how to live. I love that song, man, because that's how I start my day, not with the song, but with saying that. Saying that to God and saying that to Jesus. Just show me how to live, man, because you were the one that has my whole day planned. You have my whole week planned. You have my whole month planned. You have my whole life planned. I just have to figure out what it is that you want me to do. And it's hard to plan your whole life. It's hard to plan your whole year. People want to have these business planning meetings where they plan their business and where it's going to come from for the whole year and all this crap. I don't do that. I don't do that because God knows where my business is going to come from for the year. He's the one that's going to provide for me for the year. And he's going to turn on the spigot when he turns on the spigot. And it's going to be at a time when I'm ready to have and handle that business. And then he's going to turn off the spigot when it's time to turn off the spigot. And that's time for me to rest and relax and recharge and be with my family and enjoy my time and enjoy my life and enjoy my vacation or whatever. God wants you to be happy. He wants everybody to be happy. But you got to ask him to lead your life. You got to invite him in. You got to be the one to say, hey, man, I need you. It's not the other way around. He doesn't just come and, tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I'm here. I'm waiting for you. It doesn't work like that. Usually, you know, sometimes people who are near death, it works like that for them because they're that close to dying. But, usually you need to be the one to go to him. You need to be the one to say, hey, I need your help. I need you to come into my life. I need you to show me how to live. I need you to show me how to change my ways. I need you to show me the way I'm supposed to do things. I need you to show me how to do the right things all the time, because that's what's important to me. That's what's a priority for me, is to be able to try to live my life as close to Jesus as I possibly can. That's what's important to me. And you need to be able to say that to him, and he'll respond, man. He'll respond. He will. You have to open your heart, and you have to let your heart just be open and let him flow in. Let him fill that heart with his God juice, man. Let him fill it up, you know? That's why I like going to church so much on Sunday, because I get that fill. I get that reset, restart, every week. It's like that jump where I just fill up to the top. It's like filling my gas tank up in the car. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's like. And you gotta do that. That's once a week, but I do it every day, man. Every morning, you know? Every morning I say, show me how to live. Every morning I say, show me what you want me to do. Every single morning. And then after the day's over, I process the day with God again in silence and solitude as I'm on my knees next to my bed with the lights off. Sometimes the TV's on, sometimes the TV's off, but it's always down low if it's on or I can't hear it, because I need that time to be able to sit there in silence with God and in solitude with God, and just be grateful with God. And I tell him at night, every single thing for that day that he did for me. I thank him for it. And I say, thank you so much for, providing that guy to list his property, in Harford County today. Thank you so much for wrapping up that deal on new construction yesterday for me. Thank you so much for helping me work through all my client database, management stuff that I had to do today. Thank you for letting me be able to have my wife stay home and not have to go to work when it's all snowy outside, when she used to be in healthcare and she used to have to sleep over where she worked at because they needed people. They were short staffed. Thank you for allowing her to do that and to be able to be with the kids and be able to be with the dog. Thank you for my kids for being able to be home with me today. And thank you that it's not that bad outside that I'm going to be able to do my Bible study tomorrow. We just pushed it back an extra hour. So everybody should be able to get here on time and be at the Bible study tomorrow. But thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And I can't wait until tomorrow to see what you're going to do for me tomorrow. And, I'm here, and don't ever forget that I'm here to be a vessel for you, to do whatever you need me to do for you and for the good of the kingdom. And that's what I'm here for. So anything you need me to do, God, you let me know. And those are the types of conversations that I have with him at night when I'm on my knees, when I'm praying. Just the gratitude. He loves to be thanked for everything, because it's him. I'm nothing. I'm just a human being. I'm just a regular old human being. And without God, and without his guidance, and without his wisdom, and without his presence, and without his just care of me and my life, he takes care of me. He provides for me. He gives me food to eat. He gives me money to spend when I need it. He gives me clothes to wear. He gives me a beautiful mansion of a house that I get to live in, that I have to still pinch myself that I'm still here. It's just, I live a fairy tale life because of God and because I believe in him so much and I care about him so much and I want to do nothing but help him so much. That's all I want to do. I'm here to help God. I just happen to be a real estate agent. That's the deal. My work is God's work. Everything else is secondary. Everything. So that's the way I live my life. I'm not trying to tell you how you have to live your life. I'm just telling you and giving you some suggestions on how I live my life. And I live my life with practicing silence and solitude, just like they preached in church this weekend. Even though today's Monday, I got a little late on the message. Um, that's what I do. I practice the silence and the solitude. And every day I pray in the morning, I pray at night, I thank him and I just tell him I love him. I tell him that a lot too. I say, God, I love you, and I do. I love him. I love everything he does for me, and I'd be nothing without him. So with that, I think I'm going to wrap up this podcast. So thank you for listening. And if you like what you saw, as always, give me a thumbs up, give me some comments, give me some likes, give me some shares. This will be on Mike's Ministries page. It'll also be on YouTube as well. And you can check out some of my real estate videos too if you're, looking to buy or sell or do anything like that. No matter where you're located, anywhere in the country, I can help you find the best agent for you and interview them and hook you up no matter where you are. So just know you can always reach out to me. My cell phone's 410-236-3331. And you can always send me an email too, which should also be on the site.